Alright, hello. This is my, HVR, setup tutorial thing. It's not really scripted, but I hope it helps. So, when you install it, you'll get, in the folder where you installed it to, it'll look something like this. You'll have this file format. What the first thing you need to do is you need to find the hvr-builder.default.config file, and just rename that to udbuilder.default.config, and then it will run fine. So once you have gotten that to run, you're going to need to set the game configuration. So for that, we're going to go to, it'll give you a pop-up when you first start it, and it'll look something like this. You're going to want to hit Dr. Robotnik's Ring Racers, because that's the game that we're mapping for, obviously. So for all these resources, you can find it in the data directory of your Ring Racers folder. In the resource options, when you're adding it, you need to make sure that you exclude the resource from the testing parameters. And you need to do that for all of these, I believe, except for BIOS. You do it for all of them except for BIOS. So all of these, you exclude them. This one you include. So you click OK, and we can now make a map. It's going to bring this up. Don't tamper with any of this, and just click OK. And it'll work for a second. I know this looks bad. Don't worry about it. Just hit clear and then close. That will happen every time you make a new map. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's probably not bad, I think. But here's the editor. Here's where you can make things. We're going to... This is the draw line tool up here. And just make like a 512 by 512 box here. And well, you can draw up anything actually. So we'll just do this. You'll need two sectors, which are these things here. You'll need two of these before the map will actually load. You may be wondering, well, can I see my map in 3D? Yes, hit the Q button, and you're put into this 3D view. You move using E, S, D, and F. W does not move forward. It will trip you up, as it did for me. But this is... So, next, right-click on a sector. You can do this from the 3D mode as I did it, or you can click on the sectors tool here, and then double-click on the sector you want to edit. But I'll do it in visual mode, so it's easier to see what's actually happening when you're messing around with it. So here's the Edit Sector tab. It's got a ton of stuff in it. A lot of this you probably won't use that much, but here's some of the important stuff. Damage. Death Pit is the one where it goes dun, and then you get respawned by the light snake. Insta kill is the one where you die. that's where you blow up and die. Like at the end of a race, if you got last place, that's what happens with insta-kill. Another important differentiation. Sorry, I can't speak today. Another important difference between the two is that Death Pit, it'll only kill you once you hit the floor of the sector. Insta-kill will kill you if you're in the sector at all, period. So you would want to avoid using insta-kill. I know it's funny, but just, if you want a Death Pit, just make it Death Pit. Gravity, you don't really need to tamper with. Brightness. It may not look like it right now, but this is actually sort of dark for the game. I'd recommend setting it to 224. That's where I usually put it. 256 is too bright, and like once you go down here, it's just really dark. So I put it at 224. Ceiling height changes the ceiling height. You can see the walls going up and down. Floor height changes the floor, as you can see. This action thing, since we're working with sectors, you won't need to mess with this, with sectors in particular. This is usually for line defs, which are the lines that make up sectors. This is what you'll use for those. The surfaces tab is another important one. Here you can pick the textures you want and then like mess around with them. Clicking on like the big texture will bring up the texture browser, and this is how you're gonna like get textures for your maps. They're all sorted pretty neatly. Sega Zones is stuff that wasn't like originally made by the Kart Crew team. So you have stuff like where is it? Um, 765 Stadium's in here, even though that's Namco. Don't worry about it. This is just all the stuff that was like taken from like another game. So we're like Hidden Palace is in here, Hanagumi Hall is in here, Hot Shelter's in here, yada yada. Original Zones is stuff that was made by the Kart Crew team. So you have stuff like Sonic Speedway and Shuffle Square in here. But the textures are sorted by what track they come from. Hitting all will make your computer hang for a second. I'd advise not clicking that. So you have quite a big array of textures to choose from. So let's just go to Emerald Hill, and I guess, okay, we'll make this grass, sure. Ceiling is this texture up here. Right now, it's the skybox because it's F_sky1. That's hard-coded. It will always be skybox if your ceiling texture is that. That's just how it works. I'll raise this and like make like a ceiling. I'll like change this to something silly. Why not? We're having fun here. Let's make it let's make it the Sega logo, sure. As you can see, there's now a missing texture here. How do we fix it? Good question. If you're in visual mode, you can just right-click on the line def and it'll pop it up. This is how you edit walls. If you're doing it in the regular like 2D mode, you click on the line def tool here and then you right-click. So it'll show you what texture is missing with this big exclamation mark. But line defs are the ones that use the actions, so they use these. So let's give these a texture, sure. Something you can do to you can hold shift and press mouse 1 on a thing in visual mode, and what that'll do is it'll select everything else that has the same texture. So if you're doing walls, you click that and it selects all of these walls. If I'm doing the missing texture, it only selects these. So it's sort of like in a image editing program, like the Magic Wand tool. That's sort of what it's like. Here we can change the front textures and stuff. We're already in the Joypus folder. Let's use this one. And then, yeah, this should be good. So now you're wondering, how do I play my map? Well, it's not that simple as clicking test map. F9 also tests the map. But before we can do that, we have to do a couple things first. Namely, we'll have to save this and call it something like HVR demo map. Sure. This is just DR is the file format file naming convention. This is just like a race map, so we'll do that. Hit enter. Gonna close this other instance I have because we're not doing anything with it. So as you can see, it's doing a lot of things. Again, it's just like when you first open the map. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. If you try to like open it now, the game will crash and it will also make a crashing noise that kind of hurts my ears. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to show you what you can do to make it not crash. So this is where Slade comes in. You're going to be using this a lot because you kind of need it. So we're gonna put it here because it looks nice. This is what we're gonna need to make a new zip archive, and it'll make a new archive for us. We're going to make a new directory called sock, and then we're going to make a new entry called like sock_main or something like that. And then we're gonna click view as text. This is how we can edit what's called like the sock file, and more specifically in that sock file, the level header. If you do not have a level header, the game doesn't like that very much and will crash. So to get an example of a level header, what you can do is click open. It'll bring you up. Go to your ring racers directory, go to data, and go to maps. It'll open a new tab here. You can go to sock headers_race, view as text, and you have the level, and bingo, you now have the level headers for every single race map in the entire game. So you can just like take them, I guess. They're good to use as like templates for stuff that you would want in a map. So let's take Mystic Caves level header. We're gonna copy this, and we're just going to paste it in. Now, it won't work right now because this is set to... This thinks we're looking for, like, the actual Mystic Cave in the game. We don't want that because that's not the map we're making. So we're going to type in the name that we put in up here. And we just put in what we want. Save. And then you're going to want to click save up here. This will prompt you to save your archive. Go down here to save as type, and then make sure that is PK3 file, because otherwise it won't work. Go into HVR. You can just chuck this anywhere. I'm gonna put it where I was putting like the demo stuff for this. Um, so here it is. I'm gonna save this as uh, actually it does matter. I was about to mess it all up. Well, no. Forget I said that actually, because it doesn't matter. I'm stupid. Sorry. Um, this we're gonna save this as demo map.pk3. Hit save, and boom. It's not ready to test yet. What we're also going to need is to go to edit and then map options, or you can press F2. Click on add resource here from PK3, and we're gonna go grab the PK3 we just made. Do not hit exclude this resource from testing parameters. Make sure this is unchecked. Hit OK. And it's here now. Hit OK. It's gonna hang for a second. There we go. Go to the thing tool here, and then right click, and then press OK. Now, you should be able to save, press F9, and the game won't crash. So as you can see, we are in the map we just made. There's the Sega up at the top there, and we're driving around the grass. So we're in game, we're able to mess around with everything. That's amazing. Cool. Alt F4. We're done here. Hit save. We're going to, now I think that should be it for like getting the map started. So I'll just leave it here for now. I think in another one, in like another like tutorial thing, I'll like explain like what the general principles are, but for now, that's like all you need to like get the editor up and running and to get a map up and running, essentially. Don't worry about the alarm. That's not going off. That's fake. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's about all. I hope this helps, I guess. Thanks.